Hello teachers! In this video, I will show you how to create assignments in Schoology. Assignments require students to create a product and then upload it in Schoology, where the teacher will manually grade it. The possibilities are endless. It could be a project, drawings, research, a video, or a wide array of other creative assignments. There are two main ways to create an assignment, at least in regards to student submission. I'm going to start with how Spring ISD set up their assignments in the spring and summer of 2020. So what you start with is right up here where Add Materials. Go down to Add Assignment. And then you're just going to fill this in. So I'm going to start with the title. I'm going to say this is a research project. And since this is the first type, I'm going to say it's Assignment A. I'm going to put in the instructions. As you can see, you can edit the size, the colors, everything that you need. Right here is very handy where it says Insert Content. You can insert pictures, links, things from your Google Drive. You can link videos from YouTube. The possibilities are pretty endless. So I've written the instructions. Now for this one, I've created a template that students will be able to click to make a copy of, and then they could start editing. And then of course I have the due date, which I will bold. So I'm going to come down here, and you'll note there's other ways that I can still interact. Like if I wanted to upload a video of me explaining the instructions, I could use that. Again, links or files to add, you can use this. So due date, this is very important that you do. If you don't put a due date, then the students won't see it on the right side. They won't know to do it. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to say August 4th. Category, I'm going to select daily. Now we could have different types of categories, so just keep an eye out on that. It could be an assignment or daily, depending on what Spring ISD chooses to use for the upcoming school year. Then I'm going to come down here. Now if I wanted to assign it just to a certain group of students, I would use this option. This is the option to make sure that submissions are enabled. Make sure that that is, you can see the color, otherwise they won't be able to submit. And I'm going to hit create. By default, everything always adds to the bottom, but you can just grab it and move it up. You'll note it's now over here, so students in this course will now see this. They'd be able to click it. They'll have the instructions. If they click here, it will open up a template. They can make a copy. If you're wondering how to make a link that can make a copy of a Google Doc or a slideshow, all you have to do is you come up here, and where it says edit, you're going to just change it to copy. So this is the presentation they'd have, and you can see I just set it up that they just need to put in what information. So for like this assignment, they would put in the battle name, the date, location, who won, significance, insert a picture. So I've created the template. All they got to do is put the information. So when students start to submit, they are going to show over here. That's where you would click to pull up the assignment, and you'd be able to assign a grade. I'll have more on that in a different video. So let me show you the second way of creating an assignment, at least with student submission. So I'm going to come back to the main course. I'm going to come to Add Materials again, go down to Add Assignment. And I'm going to do pretty much the same format with one slight difference. So instead of having this link where they click to open up a template, I'm just going to embed it directly into the assignment. So bold this. So that's going to be what this part is here, where it says Assign from App. I'm going to click Google Drive Assignment. This is going to pull up my Google Drive. And I'm going to come down here, and I'm going to grab key battles in the War for American Independence and attach it. So you'll see here it says Key Battles in the War for American Independence. That's what I selected. And then over here, this will create a copy of your file for each student. So it means when students actually open up this assignment, it's going to automatically make a copy. It's going to be a lot easier for them to just create it and then submit it with this process. So then I'm going to come down to due date. Again, you need to make sure you have a due date selected. Otherwise, it will not show on the right. Students will not know to do it. Make sure you have a category. Again, for this purpose, I'm selecting daily, but there is a chance that Spring ISD may change the categories coming up. Come down here and create. And again, it will be down at the bottom, and I'm just going to drag it up. So now let me click B so that you can see what it looks like from the teacher point of view. All right, so you can see here I have my description and what I have embedded. Now, again, students, once they click this, it's going to automatically bring up the template and they can start editing. With this version, I can actually see the students as they're doing it. Now, none of the students in this course right now have started it, so it won't be able to show it, and it'll tell me who hasn't opened it. However, if someone had started it, I would actually be able to open up and see what they're typing live, so that I can see who's doing what and how far along they are. And then when someone's turned it in, it'll be right here. This is where I'll be able to add a grade. So let me show you what this looks like from the student point of view so that you can see what students would see. So I'm going to come back to courses. Because I'm an admin, I'm always going to see the teacher side. So I need to come from a student point of view. Okay, so now I'm in a course that I set up where I enrolled myself as a student with these same two assignments so that you can see the differences with the submission process for both types of assignments, assignment A and B. So in this one, I'm a student, so I'm going to go to A. Now, I've already submitted this one in a previous video, but I'm going to show you again how it would work. So on the left side, you have the instructions that I typed in. And you see I had this template embedded in if you wanted to do that to make it a little easier for students. So as a student, I would click the template. I'd click to make a copy. It would pull up. I would really recommend having your students change the name. Maybe put their name at the top, something to make it stand out so that when they submit it, they'll be able to easily find this assignment. And then you'll see it's right up here. I can just click and I can start editing all the answers. And then when I'm ready, as a student, I go back over here and I'm going to click the Submit Assignment button. So it's going to give me 3 different ways to do this. So the main way that middle school students have been doing it is by using the Google Drive. So you click Resources, come down here to Apps. They're going to need to click the Google Drive, and then they find their assignment. And you see, this is why I always recommend my students change the name a little bit so that if they have a bunch of different versions of the same assignment or other assignments, that they can easily find the assignment they need. Then I'm going to go up here to Import, Import File, and now it's submitting it. And as you can see, if I wanted to come resubmit, I just click there and I do the same process. So if I come here, this is where the teacher will be able to put the grade as well as any type of feedback. And then as a student, I would be able to see it and respond. So this method was how students were asked to submit assignments in spring and summer 2020. Now there is a different way. So I'm going to go back here to assignment B. Again, this is going to be the same assignment, but the only real difference is how students submit. So as you can see, I have the instructions down here as the same, but now students click My Document, And instead of needing to go make a copy or creating their own template, it's just automatically embedded down here. I'm keeping the size kind of small just so I can keep everything in this frame, but students would just need a click and then they could start typing their answers. When they're done, they don't have to go through that whole process. All they really need to do is click submit and then hit the yes submit button. And then it will automatically submit. This way I believe is a little bit easier for students, but I think they have also started to get used to the first option as well. So you can use any option, but just know that you have two different ways to create those assignments.